everyone, welcome to From the Star Wars Home Video Library. I'm your host Nathan P. Butler, author of a saga on home video. Recently, we took a look at this. This was the Japanese Best Library dubbed version of A New Hope from 1991. We also recently had my project update video for the month of July 2020 and an update posted fairly shortly before this episode was posted, where I gave you the saga of a package coming from Japan with rare Star Wars items that I almost got screwed out of thanks to DHL and at least most of the DHL people involved being incompetent, except, thankfully, for one supervisor who saved the day. This is a set of items that I was pointed to from a lucky find by Jeremy Goss, a member and big supporter from the Star Wars Home Video group on Facebook, who ran across what was basically a Holy Grail, or set of Holy Grails, a Holy Grail trilogy, on eBay, and tossed me the information late one night. I'm sitting there getting ready for bed, Cade's in his crib, I'm messing around on my cell phone, and here's the message, link. Holy crap. I run to the computer where I can actually click the link and have it open in eBay correctly. When my phone, sometimes that doesn't work correctly from a Facebook message. Sure enough, there they are. I don't hesitate. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be after taxes and shipping about $400. Don't care. Click. Thank God for summer school pay. And then we had the whole DHL saga of actually getting it here. But thanks to the keen eye of Jeremy Goss, I'm able to show you something I never thought I'd be able to show on this show at all. Very much like, thanks to Matt Fry, being able to show you Star Wars V2000 releases, which is a format I also thought I'd never be able to show. Just been very fortunate lately, so to speak. You see, in 1991, this was not the only Star Wars release out there. I mean, you'd say, of course, the trilogy probably got released on VHS. In fact, it was full screen and widescreen, both. But there was another format we haven't seen before that didn't get retail releases for Star Wars in the US. You see, Sony, they got kind of a mixed track record when it comes to home video formats. I mean, we think of them now as like the winner of the most recent format war because Blu-ray won out over HD DVD. But if you think back, they had an attempt at home video magnetic tape formats early on with what was called U-matic. Never really caught on. Got used more in television production than anything else. We're actually going to see some U-matic press kit type stuff in the very near future. But U-matic didn't catch on, so they tried Beta, right? Beta, their version being called Betamax, hence why it's usually called Betamax oftentimes, because Beta was the format, but the originators of it promoted it as Betamax, their version. Beta, it was out there competing against VHS and Laserdisc and CED in the US, but VHS just got more traction, even though a lot of people would argue, and I think I would agree, that Beta is a slightly superior format. VHS just started to dominate, and Beta was falling by the wayside. Well, before they gave up the fight, so to speak, they took another stab at it with partnership with Kodak, yes, the camera company. And what wound up coming out of that was a format known as either Video 8 or 8mm video. It's basically a small cassette that had 8mm magnetic tape and such in it. You may have heard of Digital 8 or High 8, which were later incarnations of this format, which were introduced with the idea being that it could be a new competitor with VHS and knock VHS out of the market. Didn't wind up working out that way. But around the same time it was being initially introduced, it was introduced also as a recordable format for camcorders. Yes, kids, before you could record everything on your phone or even a digital video camera, you needed to have a camcorder, as it was called, that had some kind of tape or something in it. And at the time, the dominant format for camcorders would either have been Beta or, in most places in the United States, a thing called VHS-C. It was a small VHS cassette, kind of thick, but you could stick it into an adapter shaped like a VHS cassette and stick it in a VHS player or a VCR, and it would actually just play immediately rather than having to play it off of plugging your camcorder into your TV or your VCR. Well, it turned out that this became a wildly popular format, Video 8 did, for camcorders, not so much for pre-recorded movies on home video. In fact, Sony's Handycam, which is one of the most well-known camcorder types of all time, used Video 8. I was introducing the Video 8 format to people. because it was nice. Because a beta or even a VHS rather than VHS-C camcorder was freaking gigantic. I mean, think the kind of thing that Marty McFly was carrying around in Back to the Future, except in some cases a little bit even bigger than that. If you had a Video 8 or VHS-C, either of those two smaller formats, the camcorder got smaller, more portable, easy to use, easier to carry, more convenient. So it really caught on like that. But in the US, only a few companies actually bothered to release pre-recorded movies of any kind for the format. There weren't a lot of players out there. Most people, in fact, who did buy pre-recorded movies still played them by putting them in their camcorder and plugging it up to the TV. An example of this on the US market is actually another George Lucas production. This is Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Paramount Home Video bothered with this format. As Video 8, we're not going to look at all the specific details because this isn't a Star Wars release. But in the US, they often came in these nice slip covers, nice jackets or whatever you want to call them, that it was a pain in the ass to actually get the cassette out of. See, so much so there that I had to edit because I had to fight to get it out. There's a nice little slip cover here. And the cassette was in basically what looked like an old audio cassette case, except thicker. I have to lose my sticker there. But then this was a Video 8 cassette, right, with the magnetic tape underneath there. So you would have something like this to watch a movie from a few companies, but for the most part it was cassettes like this going in people's camcorders for a more portable home video recording experience. Well, unfortunately, in the US, just like with V2000, there never were any retail Star Wars movie releases on this format, this Video 8 8mm video format. But it did have releases in the UK, most notably Return of the Jedi is probably the most well-known one, and it had releases in Japan. In 1991, alongside this, Japan released the entire Star Wars trilogy on Video 8, on 8mm video, in a series of releases that were subtitled, so English audio, Japanese subtitles, using similar packaging to that Best Library run on VHS. And thanks to Jeremy Goss, I've acquired all three. Now it's time to take a look at those. Thank goodness. Still part of the Best Library, this is A New Hope here. A little bit of a glare because it is clear packaging here. It says, and I'm going to try to angle it away from the window for this series of videos so I don't constantly have to, have it barely visible. But it says, in fact, let me stand up here. Best Library, Star Wars, with the Japanese title underneath, cast, crew information and whatnot, 20th Century Fox and Fox Video logos at the bottom. Here's your spine, 8mm video up at the top. Then we have it's Fox Video, Dolby system, right? Dolby surround stereo. The title there in Japanese, title in English, with the title being a logo for the English one. Fox Video, product number information and whatnot down there at the bottom. The back, very much like an audio cassette, had sort of this horizontal section up here and your vertical section over here. The horizontal section has a bunch of legalese, plus the copyright date of 1991, Fox Video and 20th Century Fox logos again and all that kind of stuff here. And then underneath the vertical side, you just have your UPC and the 8 denoting this as Video 8 format or 8mm video. Text here in Japanese, along with the stats mostly in Japanese. I was able to determine their subtitle by using Google Translate on a camera. Your one image from the film with information about it. Right? The actual cassette, then, is this. So we have product number, Fox Video, Star Wars, title in Japanese. We have copyright and other legalese down at the bottom. Then we've got the 8 for Video 8, Fox Video, Japanese title, English title as a logo. So A New Hope, Video 8, 1991, Best Library, Japan. Then, of course, with that we have The Empire Strikes Back. And again, I stand up so you can see this close enough. These are just super, super tiny compared to the clamshell of that VHS. Yeah, super tiny. So we have Best Library, in this case Japanese title here, with the English title as a logo off to the side, cast crew information and whatnot down here with legalese and Fox Video. Right? Spine is similar to the other one, except it puts The Empire Strikes Back up at the top of the Japanese title, and it's got CBS Fox down here. So 8mm video, Fox, or Fox Video, the whatchamacallit, the Dolby Surround Stereo, Empire Strikes Back, Japanese title, CBS Fox, product number. And a similar design here to the back. And the actual cassette. Again, dominated by the Japanese titles, similar design though, Fox Video, product number, Japanese title, English logo, legalese and whatnot. Spine, Fox Video, English logo, Japanese title, 8 for Video 8. And then to complete the trilogy, Return of the Jedi. Okay? We have Best Library, Japanese title. Return of the Jedi not as a logo, just in bold-faced English. Your cast crew information and whatnot there with Fox Video. A similar spine to Empire. Okay? Except in this case, there is a logo here like Empire, unlike the front. Then a similar back here to what we just saw with Empire there. There's CBS Fox and Fox Video on there, of course. The actual cassette. Fox Video, product number, Japanese title, bold-faced English title, legalese and whatnot. Similar spine, Fox Video, Return of the Jedi, Japanese title, and 8. Together, these make up one of the rarest, most difficult to find Star Wars home video items that exists, right? Aside from stuff that is produced for a specific event, like, say, the George Lucas AFI box, which is just full of retail releases. These are retail releases from Japan of the entire trilogy from '91, subtitled in Japanese with English audio on Video 8, 8mm video. Something that did not exist over here for retail. But you notice I keep saying for retail. These are amazing. I'm so excited to have these in my collection. Thank you very much to Jeremy, and again to the one person at DHL, the supervisor in College Park, who was able to help me with this, with finally actually getting the damn product. That said, there is a Video 8 item we can show from the US for Star Wars. This wasn't retail, and it's a little bit weird. That we'll check out in our next episode. With that, we'll wrap up this episode. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with the home video viewers.